All right, this video is going to be about the healing journey, how to return to a sport in wholeness. And what we are going to talk about is how pain affects us mentally and how to balance our type A aggressive athletic personalities with a kind of mindfulness that allows us to recover the fastest. Because at this point, we know the rehab journey is not just about the exercises, it is about our intention behind everything that we do. So the exercises work, but the nervous system is the missing piece in this process. Rehab isn't complete if your brain thinks that you are broken. You can build strength, improve posture, even get the MRI. And a lot of the times it shows that we have clean results, that we are structurally sound, that the muscle and the tissue is recovering and progressing. And still, we are kind of dealing with the same amount of pain levels. Now, to me, we can do mechanically everything that we need to do. But if there is not a strategy to heal the nervous system at the same speed as we are progressing in the exercises, then it will inhibit process and it will frankly just waste everybody's time. After an injury, your brain adapts to protect you. We have to understand that the nervous system adapts just like muscles do. So when it is dealing with excessive trauma and pain signals over and over again, it's going to wire in patterns of caution, avoidance, and bracing. Even when the tissues have healed, the brain doesn't just automatically go back to normal. So there has to kind of be a step-by-step process to bring it along that same healing journey. That is why pain can linger even when everything looks fine in the MRI and even as you start restoring the muscular balance. Now, why injury hits athletes even harder? For type A high functioning athletes, injury isn't just a physical setback, it is a threat to our identity. You have spent years building a sense of invincibility. You're taught to override pain, push through discomfort, prove your toughness to everybody around you and to yourself constantly, reps and reps, days and days. That mindset is also tied to your confidence as a hooper. That's kind of what makes us good at ball. This is the kind of bravado that has gotten us to the highest levels of the game. So we tend to hold on to that very dearly. And when that identity is attacked by pain, by injury, by trauma, that mindset that was once very powerful on the court now becomes a liability in recovery. And that's why when dudes are progressing in a lot of the exercises and they may feel good, they tend to relapse a lot and kind of stay in a state of stagnation. We carry this emotional baggage throughout this process, and this process is already difficult enough. So when injury strikes, especially recurring or chronic pain, it shatters the internal story that we have told ourselves a million times over the past 10 to 20 years. So that same story that I'm invincible, like I'm him. Look at everything that I've been through, and it's because I've just kept pushing through every single barrier. Now we have come across an obstacle that we cannot just fight through, and that is okay. It is okay to understand that. And if we don't know how to process that, the body that you once relied on now becomes unpredictable, weak, and foreign to you. And to make it even harder, rest and recovery in athletics often feels like weakness. In many cultures, if you're not grinding, you're falling behind. The weight of shame, frustration, and guilt can just quietly sabotage you from within during this process because you're sitting out. You're not with your team. You're not doing the same things. You don't have the same daily schedule. And there is an underlying friction between the guys on the court and the guys that are watching practice. We have all been there. We all know what that feels like. And we have to understand what that does to us mentally throughout this process because you're not just recovering from a physical issue. You are navigating this identity crisis. And I will say it again, it is normal and it is okay because we are going to get through this and it's just going to make you that much more grateful for this process once you're on the other side of this dark tunnel. So because our brain has adapted, now we need to rewire it back to safety to tap into that confidence that we once had. So just like muscles adapt to load, your brain adapts to experience and perception. That is neuroplasticity. And just like any injury or any soft tissue, the brain will be able to learn and readapt. So it can relearn safety, confidence, and fluidity. Our job in this rehab process is to rebuild trust in the body. That means gradually reintroducing movements and ranges of motion that used to trigger fear. And one thing that is very important for this presentation and the rehab process in general, I cannot heal anybody. All I can do is give you the tools. You have to heal you from within. That is a common quote among rehab practitioners is like they don't heal anybody. They just help people tap into what is already within them. So back to neuroplasticity. Instead of bracing, we are teaching the system how to breathe, how to relax. Instead of pushing harder, we learn how to respond in a calculated manner to get around this obstacle. For now, the goal is not just more brute strength. It is going to be about learning how to be free in this process so that you can return to the playful, instinctive, expressive movement that you had before as a child. Because at the end of the day, that is all why we are playing the sport in general. It is because once it was a no stress environment that just allowed us to move and express ourselves. That is where the yin energy comes into play. Because we have been so aggressive and driven in this athletic journey, Yin is the energy that we are least trained in because it is thought as feminine. But this is the type of energy that we need the most while we learn how to heal ourselves because it will complement the energy that you have already had with the masculine urge to be great. So it is not going to take away from that. We have already proven that we have that. The yin energy is actually going to complement it. And the more you understand it, it will make that type A, that masculine energy stronger. Yin is not the opposite of toughness. It's actually here to complement it and make both of those energies stronger. Yin is the patience in face of urgency, trust in the place of control, and grace instead of grit for now. Because once we return to our sport, we are definitely going to need a whole lot of grit. But right now, we have to respect the process and where we are right now. Again, you have proven to yourself that you have enough grit and willpower to be successful on the court. Now let's get you back out there. So buy into where you are right now. Be where your feet are. This is the process where you reconnect with your body's innate intelligence, where you slow down enough to listen, feel, and adjust to what's happening right now. Yin practices are going to be breath work and meditation. I'm going to link those videos in the description, videos that I use on a daily basis because I have no knee pain, but everybody has their own problems. Like I'm still dealing with the same things while trying to grow my own business. I have stressors and I have fatigue and I have trauma that I am still dealing with. So the process that I'm going through is very much aligned with the rehab process, but instead of knee pain, just insert whatever problem people have. You can use visualization. So right now, if you want to just pause and leave this video and just sit in your chair or lay in your bed and imagine clean and healing blood flow, whatever you put your intention on, energy flows where focus goes. So if you just spent the next 5 minutes thinking about one of these affirmational visualizations, I guarantee you'll feel better right after. And like we've been over, this healing process is just about stacking the small wins. Grounding practices like barefoot walks or just slow, mindful movement. These are the things that are going to relax that type A brute force mentality, and it's going to allow the body to actually start flowing better and healing faster. Yin is like fine tuning the instrument. So, basketball is the concert. We are taught to constantly rush towards the concert because that's where we get all the positive feedback. But rehab is the tuning room. And if your strings are not in tune, no amount of playing will make good music. And we've learned that by now is rushing through the exercises and trying to get to phase 3 or trying to progress as fast as possible just leaves us back at square one. The more we learn to kind of relax and unwind from that mentality, that is when the results show the fastest. Obviously, we know a lot about yang. That is our outer fire, the challenge, the structure, the rebuild. So the yang part of rehab is where we reintroduce stress in a calculated way. Now, this is going to happen in phase 2 once you've mastered or at least proven to yourself the importance of that yin energy. Phase 1 is all about the yin energy. Phase 2, we can get into progressive overload, controlled exposure to stress, and then movement retraining. And this time, we are not just pushing through pain all the time, we are responding to it, we are listening to it, and using it as a compass. When we have created the right internal conditions, the yang becomes more powerful again, not reckless, but redefined. Remember, pain is a signal, it is not your sentence. It's not the enemy, it's just a message. It's your body saying something is off, pay attention, we might have to go this way or that way. So let's reframe pain as guidance instead of punishment. So a tight hip isn't just random, it's your body protecting itself from load in a certain area. Knee pain may be a collapsed foot or misaligned pelvis. Swelling can signal inflammation or disconnection in your body's energy flow. Now, all these things are just mindfulness cues that you can go through on a daily basis while you're doing the SMR, while you're doing the corrective exercises and the postural correction. And that's why we spend a lot of time in these exercises and these shapes is so that you can actually breathe and calm down. The perceived easy stuff that is in the beginning of the program is so that you can actually take time in your body. The more time you spend intentionally in your body, the better understanding you're going to have. And that is how you solve the equation of pain. So address the tightness, find the weakness, and then let yourself heal and go through that process. In Chinese medicine, pain is a result of blocked flow. Our goal isn't just to fix the individual parts, it's to restore rhythm and movement through the entire system. Now, SMR is perfect for me because it's where yin meets yang. We are going to have to use a whole lot of mental tools in this process because SMR brings up a lot of pain and a lot of trauma. Now, for me, you need to be obsessed with SMR in phase 1. You should be doing at least 30-minute sessions at least 5 times a week on your own time because this is going to unlock every single other part of this journey. If you are rushing through SMR to get to the next step, you are messing up and you are wasting everybody's time. When you press into your fascia with awareness and breath, you are not just releasing fascia, you're sending signals to your brain that says, this is safe now. This is super important for this process. The SMR actually reactivates your proprioceptive map, the map that you have internally of your body Right now, it's all jagged. Your mind has wound up just as your body has. And SMR is the perfect way to myofascial release, but also to release the tension that's going on neurologically. It reminds your brain that these body parts exist and that they are able to be trusted. I promise you, it's going to unlock a lot of doors for you. I spent a year straight doing SMR for an hour. Now, I think that was overkill, but it just proves to show you that I was obsessed with this part of the process and I saw the direct results from it on a daily basis in the short term and long term. Now, some reminders for you: get lost in the exercise, put on a meditation or the grooviest song that you know. Try both of those things, try everything. Daydream, go into the darkness and explore. Try different approaches to your SMR to see which one works for you the best. Guess what? It takes a lot of time, but right now you have to be dedicated to this process. So, one, find the tension. Go into the darkness and explore what is happening to you mentally and physically. Breathe into the pain. Breathe into, you're trying to find as much pain as possible. Breathe into that and then let it melt away. Because as soon as you find that spot, your brain is going to start going into the same panic mode that it's been in for the past months or even years. You want to breathe into that and let it know it's safe, and then everything will start melting away. Then go even further, go deeper into that release, put more body weight into it, go further into that dark place. Because then the pain is going to come back. And then you repeat that process. You breathe into it again, and you let that new level of pain, that new level of fascia restriction melt away. This will happen in the 3 to 5 minute mark. So if you're just bullshitting and you stop at 3 minutes and then you just are excited to move on to the next thing, you're not doing yourself or this program the justice that it deserves to heal. And then after each SMR exercise, move around, walk around at least 100 steps gently to reinforce the new experience and also to calibrate for yourself how helpful that spot was for your gait or how you move, how loose your legs feel, and how light your body feels. The final thought of this process, for me, the message that I have for you is we're not hoping that this happens. We're embodying the part of ourselves, mentally and physically, that it has already happened for us. We're not waiting for healing. We're just stepping into the version of ourselves that is already healed. You have to have that belief, and that belief has to be stronger than your past trauma. If that happens, I promise nobody's knees were worse than mine. I actually have the doctor's notes that say I was cooked forever. Now, I have my own set of problems, but knee pain is not one of them. So, with each breath and each rep, each moment of awareness is a message to your body. Say this to yourself the whole entire time that you're working out or that you're doing SMR or posture or whatever. This is safe. This is the new me. I am healing. Whatever you want to say. My quotes might sound corny, but come up with something like that that helps you through this process. Because again, it's all mental, but that does not mean that we should just be running through walls the entire time. There is a time and place for that. Right now, we need to learn how to relax. And I hope this video helped you guys. Hit me up if you have any questions. I wish you a healthy and successful journey. Thanks for watching. Peace.